quick, Wyatt, what did you, if anything, say to Dorian in the game, and then maybe right after that final drive when he was able to get you guys down the field for that game-winning field goal?
Yeah, no, after the game, I know he was emotional, and I was just, I was proud of him. You know, probably something like, "Good job, man. Proud of you, man." It's not at the end of the day, we all got to be able to execute. We all got to be able to do our jobs. And DTR did that.
What does it say about him to be able to come off that first start, come in here and kind of hold that promise, even though it wasn't perfect all the time, of that night and day difference?
Yeah, no, he took care of the ball. Obviously, that one turnover, which was, off of a deflection and stuff like that. But, he played on time. He operated the offense like he'd been there before. And, that's what that experience does. And obviously, I wish his first start was a little bit easier on him, but he showed up and played really hard, and he prepared the right way. He was a professional.
Thank you.
All right, next question from Mary Kay.
Sorry about that, Wyatt. Wyatt, can you talk about the fact that you guys have brought a veteran on board in Joe Flacco, and what you think that might mean to your team and to Dorian?
Yeah, no, I think that all the experience, the vet help is going to be exponential for him. I feel like that's the hardest thing. When I was a young player, there was a lot of growing pains when it came to how to be a pro, all this different stuff. Now I will say DTR, he gets it. He got it a lot earlier than I did. I feel like if I did a little bit better job, probably wouldn't have got traded, but maybe that was political. I don't know. But I'm also thankful for that. It brought me here. But it's just one of those things where you got to be able to do your job and do it at a high level. And you have guys who've done it, and Joe and stuff like that. So I'm excited.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Tom.
Thanks, Jordan. Hey, Wyatt, you guys have overcome so much this year, all the injuries, starting 3 quarterbacks, et cetera. Can you just talk about kind of the leadership that Coach Stefanski has provided and how he's kind of kept this whole thing together?
Yeah, I know. There's been a lot of injuries. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Watching Nick come out of the tunnel yesterday kind of got a little emotional too. But it's just one of those things that, the NFL is, one, the turnover year to year is crazy, but also, the injuries you go through every year. And, as much as, I've had the same starting 5 for the past, obviously changing centers and stuff like that. But, the 4 core, and we've all had injuries, we've all been out, we've all done we've all had to be able to play with guys that we haven't been able to spend years with. So we all have to be able to handle it, and it's one of those things.
And in terms of the kind of the unique tackle rotation yesterday, how different was that? And do you think is that sustainable, or do you think it's just kind of a one-off because of the injury situation with DeWand?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's amazing to be able to go out there as a rookie and do that to one of the elite pass rushers in the league and in history, right? And especially right now, to go out there and do that. But that's why we brought him in. We brought him in to be able to be a physical monster out there, to where you can even grab his arm, and it's so long that it's going to take 3 tries to get around. But it's a talented front, and to be able to execute like that, even with the rotation, and Jaron at left tackle, it's special, and it shows you how good coach is, but also how good the scheme is for us. And we're in a very offensive line friendly. We did pass the ball a little bit, but like I said, Dorian was getting that ball out of his hand, and that's a blessing as an offensive lineman, because it's not fun when you have to block for 8 seconds. I'll promise you that. Even if you guys say we're really good, it's still not fun.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Wyatt, when you talk about that resilience, how much does Kevin's kind of even keel nature play into that? And I know he's been preaching resilience all year long.
Yeah, no, I think that we are a resilient team, but I also think we're resilient because our defense is really good. I've been on teams that, our defense fights, but then it just, you go 3-and-out a handful of times and, they start getting tired. Even the best defense can get tired. And, we got to be able to, turn those 3-and-outs to, first down, just a couple first downs, just to get them a little bit of breath. And, even though we weren't playing perfect, yesterday our defense came out and was playing, lights out to hold the teams to what they've been doing to be winning on third down. I mean, sometimes it feels like we'll be like 19 play drives to go score, and we'll go out and our defense will 3-and-out. And I'm like, what? Oh gosh, I'm already up. So, it's a good problem to have. But we play complementary football, and that's because we have a really good defense, really good special teams, and an offense that does what it needs to do. As long as we hold on to that ball, and we execute and we perform to the best of our ability, I think that, the three core that we have is special.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Tony.
All right, I was going to ask about the right tackle, but I'm going to switch gears since you answered. In the left tackle, what is going on with Jerron Christian? Is he grading out as well as he looks to the rest of us?
Yeah, no, I mean, I have no idea. Coach Callahan would be a good request if you guys want to know grades, because I'd like to know mine. No, he tells us our grades, but usually it's like one-on-one, and that's if you're really worried about it. You can kind of tell how you played throughout meetings. Coach doesn't sugarcoat much. But Jaron's been playing. He's been playing hard. He's been doing a lot of good things. At the end of the day, to be able to pick up, where he did and what he's been doing and learn the offense in that short amount of time, it just shows you how smart and talented Jaron is. At the end of the day, it's not easy learning new plays, but a lot of the league is, the same stuff. There's only so many 6-man pros and 5-man pros, and running the ball versus this front, even though it might be called something different, it's basically along the same thing. So, being able to pick all that up, and it shows you that he's a pro. And that's why, with rookies, it's hard because you're learning all that playbook. And for, vets coming in, it's usually a little bit easier because you've learned all those jargons. When I was a rookie, I didn't even know what duo is. And if you guys know what duo is, it's literally just 2 double teams. It's not crazy, mind numbing stuff. It's just 2 double teams. And, that was something I didn't even know from college, so it's just, something that, as you get into the league, you start learning a lot. And, it just shows you that he's been able to pick it up, and, that's awesome.
All right, and I wanted to ask you about this fact that not only have you guys won games with 3 quarterbacks, each of them has conducted a final field goal drive in the clutch at the end of the game. And you were on the team when, I don't remember 3 of them in a single year for 1 quarterback. What's going on there? Why do you think you guys are executing so well, no matter who's that quarterback in the final minute?
Yeah, no, I'm happy that we are, but I'd rather score 47 points and not have to worry about a 2-minute drive at the end of the game to go win a field goal. But that toughness, that, stick-to-itiveness that our team has, and that our quarterbacks have, the route schemes, the running of the ball, the no fear in coaches in play calling. And, it could be 3rd and 3 and we're going to go for it. Depending on I think we had a 4th and 1 on our 35, and coaches not afraid because he trusts our guys. That's an honor, 1. But 2, it's special to be on a team that, no matter what the score is saying in the 4th quarter, that, we're going to fight, and we're going to fight till the end, until they blow the whistle. So, it's cool. Again, I would rather win by 40 points and not have to worry about all these close games that, I'm about to have a heart attack on the sideline. I know you guys are too. So, but when put in those situations to be able to execute the way we have, it says something about the guys that we have on this team, that AB has brought onto this team and that coach has coached.
Thank you.
All right, and last one from Jeff.
Hey, well, I want to ask you more about DeJuan Jones. He seems so lost in that rookie mini camp. So what have you done to help him grow as much as he has since he had to take over from Jack?
Yeah, no, I think that he's always been talented. There's no doubt, but coach's technique it's not easy. If coach's technique was easy, then everybody would be doing it, right? But along the league, you see a million different ways to do it because coach is so meticulous on his techniques and what he watches, and it's always changing. So even what we were doing, I think in preseason, some stuff has changed as we got throughout camp and stuff like that. But Dewan is working really hard. He's working with John DeCoster. He's working with all the coaches that we have to be able to put the extra time in to learn the plays, learn the techniques, learn all that stuff because it's not easy. Like I said, being a vet, you kind of get an idea. All right, are you a two-hand guy, one-hand guy? Like what are you doing? Are you dropping your post? Are you kicking out? What kind of sets do you have? And when you're a rookie, you're learning all that. It's a lot, but once you kind of get it, you start, hammering the nail and, practicing and practicing and practicing. And then it becomes natural. Juan Castillo, an old offensive line coach I had, he always talked about, when it came to his footwork or his technique, it was just over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes natural. And that's the same thing with Coach Callahan. He doesn't say that, he practices it. But he's one of those guys that we're going to go to practice and it doesn't matter if it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sometimes even on Saturdays, we're sweating out there, making sure that we know where to go and what to do.
All right, cool. All right, thank you.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Wyatt.
See you guys.
All right, guys, we have Greg here. If you have questions, raise your hands, and we will go to Scott first.
Hey, Greg. I know after the game you said that AWOC and Rodney are the two greatest leaders on the team. So being without Rodney for the rest of the year and AWOC for a while now, how do you guys deal with that and find that leadership on the field?
Yeah, it's a great question. It really starts with the young guys like myself in the room, just observing and seeing how Rodney leads. And it's not going to just be one person to, fill his role. It'll be impossible for somebody to fill his role. But, as a collective group, everybody has to, find a way to chip in and become even more vocal leaders and everything like that. So it's not going to be an easy task for sure, but I think we got the right guys in the building to be able to fulfill.
And then after the game, I think Kenny Pickett said you guys played more zone than you'd shown earlier this season, and it kind of surprised him. Why do you think you did that? And could you tell that they were confused by the game plan?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, honestly, I just think we were able to get them in a bunch of third and longer situations where so I think the D-line and the linebackers were doing a great job of getting us in those third and long situations. And then obviously Coach Schwartz is so good at showing stuff and then getting out of it. So our goal was just to try to disguise as much as we can and get him off his first read.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Cam.
Greg, back to the injuries again. Obviously, the offense has sustained a lot of injuries. They've dealt with this kind of thing throughout the season. Is that something that you guys as a defense can maybe take lessons from to see how that side of the ball was able to rally around those kinds of big losses like Nick Chubb, Jack Conklin, Deshaun?
Yeah, for sure. It shows a resiliency, not just from the offense, but the team. I think when you're all together as one, we kind of don't separate ourselves as offense and defense. We just find a way, and we've seen we lost a lot of great players this season, but I think it just is a credit to what we built in the offseason, and it's just that brotherhood.
And after the game, some of the guys said it wasn't a great game defensively. There was some explosive plays you guys wish you had back, but to be able to, get them to punt in 4 plays and then the next drive go 3 and out and really help set the team up for that game-winning field goal. What does that say about you guys as a defense that you can bounce back so quickly in a game like that?
Yeah, it just proves everything that we're just trying to show, and that's that we're the best defense in the league. And you earn those stripes not in the first quarter, not in the second quarter, third quarter. You earn that in the fourth quarter in big moments. So I think it just shows the resiliency that we play with.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Spencer.
Greg, you had the tweet last week just about, jump off the bandwagon if you want, and you'll regret it to sort of the fan base there. And I'm just curious, like, you guys obviously play with this resounding sense of belief. And, no matter what, it's been on display all season. You lose Nick Chubb, you lose Deshaun, you lose Jack Conk and all these guys, and you just keep finding ways to win. Like, how do we quantify something like that? Like when we're talking about what that means going into a game where it seems like you guys are overmatched in this area or that area, how does that just factor into you guys being able to keep winning, and how do we quantify it?
Yeah, I just think it's just that next man up mentality. Obviously losing Deshaun and Chubb, like they're irreplaceable. Like Jack, the guys that we've been losing are irreplaceable, but it never comes from just one person. It's a collective, and I think when you lose those key guys, it's going to be a collective of people that has to step in and replace that. Like losing Chubb, it's not just one running back that's just going to go out there and do what Chubb was doing. You see that we have a bunch of people that are stepping in and making plays when they need to. So, yeah, it's definitely tough, but we never just put it on the shoulders of whoever's coming in to replace them. We kind of try to help them out, and it's a team effort.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, we'll go back to Cam.
You guys have a road trip coming up. How do you enter that kind of West Coast out there, time difference, and then how do you maybe take some of the energy that you were able to feel from the dog pound playing at home as you go on to that little stretch?
Yeah, they always say it's so tough to win on the road for sure in the NFL, but I know definitely a lot of the dog pound will still be there. They always find their way there, but it's just really sticking together. Whoever you go out there and travel with, those are the people that you're going to rely on. So it's definitely harder to play on the road just because you don't have that energy from the crowd on your side. So it's just going to be guys out there on the field like me trying to bring out some energy and just keeping the guys up the whole time. So it's definitely going to be more challenging for sure on the road.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Greg, just wondering, can you maybe describe something that Rodney helped you guys with, because he knew Jim Schwartz's defense so well? How was he instrumental in helping sort of implement the Jim Schwartz way? And then I have another question after that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I really can't even just pick one thing. Like this what this defense is about, and how we are on the field, how resilient we are, it starts with Rod. I mean, just coming in, telling us like if we want to make it, like we have to do these certain things. We got so many things like in the DB room itself with, we're putting up fines and stuff like if we're late to meetings or we drop a pick at practice. So just everything that we're about on this defense is Rodney McLeod. So it's definitely not just one thing. I feel like it's the whole entire defense. Like he's put his stamp on this team and on this defense for sure.
Thank you. And then the second question that I had is, you guys are bringing Joe Flacco in, and I know, Deshaun's going to be leaving you guys for a while to go have his surgery and rehab. So what impact will it have on you guys to have another veteran presence, not just in the quarterback room, but, on the team?
It's amazing. It's only going to help us get closer to our goals. I mean, a guy that has been to Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl, like it's always great to have those guys in the building, especially, where our aspirations are for the end of the season. Is going to be good to just get his feedback on certain things. And like I said, it's perfect that he's coming. He's coming at the right time, especially in this stretch that we're about to go on. And, so we're definitely going to use him for sure to help us get there.
Thank you, Greg.
All right, and back to Scott.
Hey, Greg. Without Rodney, and then Coach said he didn't know if Juan will be able to get back this week. How do you feel about the depth at safety? What have you seen out of Ronnie, especially this year?
Yeah, we're deep everywhere. That's the thing. I feel like we got the not just the best defense, but the best secondary in the NFL. And I've said it before. I was more so speaking on the corners, just because we are the ones going down a lot. But that room's deep. You guys seen what you've seen in preseason. Like, none of that is just, it's still NFL football. So we got guys like Ronnie. We got guys that's on practice squad like Tanner. We got guys like D'Anthony Bell who are ready. They're young, they're hungry. So we definitely trust them out there all the time too. We won't lose a step there at all.
And then do you feel, I guess, as a whole unit, like, do you feel the pressure every week of living up to that number one ranking that you guys have?
Not really. I feel like it's more so pressure. We put pressure on ourselves just because we know what we're capable of, but we're not even putting pressure just because we're the number one unit. Like, obviously, if we just continue to do what we do and, put those high goals for ourselves as players, we're gonna keep that number one ranking. So we're not really too worried about the number one ranking. We just kind of put the pressure on ourselves just to go out there and perform, because if we perform at a high level, we'll win football games.
Thanks.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.